Welcome back again to my trucking family, a real trucking gang within SB. Gonna recap a little bit, go over a few things, you know, just check the temperature. Then I'm gonna talk about the load I'm on today. I got this load yesterday. Dispatcher booked this load yesterday for me. You know, I'm the type of person, I like to run early in the morning. You know, I like to go and get mine on out the way. I can be traffic the whole 10. Any problems, blowouts, anything like that may happen. You know, I'm up, it's the daytime. You still got time to do things and to get things situated. I'm a 4, 5 o'clock in the morning type of guy. You know what I'm saying? I like to go and get out there. I'll teach y'all that strategy a little bit later on. So the load I'm on today, supposedly supposed to pick up at 3 p.m. today. Say, nah, I ain't feeling that. 3 p.m. I'm wasting the whole day. I'm wasting my whole day. I'm the type of guy, once I get up, once these eyes right here open, the good Lord bless me to open these eyes right here, that's when my clock start. That's when my day start. So if I get up, I need to be on it. So what most drivers will do, like I say, most drivers, 3 o'clock in the evening p.m., when they supposed to go to pick up, they sit around, sleep all day, gag, ate them a good meal and be tired later on. Nah. What I do is I pull up the shipper or the receiver, whoever it is. When I pull up the shipper, I look at the times that they open. I'll go down to the reviews, look at any comments that might give me any insight on will they take drivers early, the load time, how long do they usually take the load, all the good jazz. I always look at the reviews, you know what I'm saying? That way you kind of know what you're getting yourself into, what you're facing. So here it is. I think it's what the time here. It is, excuse me, YouTube. The time here is 11. It's 11:10 over here. So 11:10, 3 p.m. appointment. I seen that the shipper opens at, I think it was 6:30 that they opened. Opened at 6:30. So what I did, I took it upon myself. I got myself on up. I set my alarm for 5:30, 5:45. I already pre-tripped, put in my phone, see how far I was from the shipper to where I was located at. I was 12 minutes. 12 minutes, I'm gonna include traffic. I'm gonna give myself another 15 just for any little traffic delays. That way I'll be there right there at 6:30. You know what I'm saying? Fresh, hopefully on the first thing there. I'm really trying to get there before the first thing there, which I was. So I get there, I get here. I go ahead and check in. I always show a little teeth, try to flirt or something, try to conversate, especially if it's a pretty lady in there, might help me out a little bit. It has before. So I get in there, I speak to the lady and everything, and give her my information, conversate a little bit. And guy comes back and he said, hey man, he said, your appointment's not until 3 p.m. I said, oh, yeah, man. I said, man, they told me I can come ahead and pick up early. You know what I'm saying? Worth a try, So he say, yeah. He said, yeah, man. He's like, well, we got to do this. We still got to pull it, find it, do X, Y, and Z. I said, okay, well, they gave me a door. I said, well, I'm just here just in case, He said, well, I'll tell you what, man. He said, it's going to be a while. You're probably gonna wait a while. He said, now we probably will be able to go ahead and get you in before 3, but it's gonna be a while. I said, hey man, that's fine, that's perfect, that's cool with me. No problems. So my thing is, as long as I'm out of here before 3, as long as I get loaded before 3, the sooner the better. You know what I'm saying? That's less time I gotta wait. So I came back, they gave me the door to go park in and everything and set up in. So I came back, parked in the door, and I went back to bed. You know what I'm saying? 7 o'clock, went back to bed. And so probably about 20 minutes ago, before I'm making this video, a guy come knock on my door. I'm in a good little sleep. So he come knock on my door. He's like, hey man, I want you to move the door 21. So I'm like, man, because I said another driver back, and I'm like, I know this motherfucker ain't come asking me to move for the like I can get in my spot. I'm just getting up. So he say, yeah, man, we finna go ahead and get you loaded. I said, okay. I said, hey man, no problem. I said, be right there. So the moral of that story is, like I say, man, go on, get up, get up early. It goes back to what I was saying in the last video. Don't wait all day to get up. If I had this 3 o'clock appointment, let's just say they get me loaded by 12. You know what I'm saying? By 12 p.m. I done saved myself an extra 3 hours. Hopefully they get me loaded before 12. That way I can navigate this 12 o'clock traffic and, be on the other side of it. However, I'm still saving 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? Me sitting here 3 hours, if not maybe, whether maybe an hour, most shippers take an hour to 2 hours to load. So we just gonna say I'd been get out of here at 5 o'clock. That's another 5 hours. That's another $175 right there that I'd have been sitting behind. You know what I'm saying? That's $175 of the road. Because remember, 5 hours accumulates to about 350 miles. You know what I'm saying? That's 350 miles I could have been up the road. If you're a company driver getting paid percentage, getting paid about a mile, 50 cents a mile, that's $175 for them 5 hours that you just, you're sitting away. So, like I say, man, that's another thing. Another big, big mistake that us drivers make, especially the new drivers that get in here. Not having the patience, not having the understanding, not knowing how you're getting paid, not knowing how your pay works, you know what I'm saying? Not knowing when your pay go in. Things like that, a lot of drivers need to know. If you don't know how you're getting paid, or you're not understanding the company that you're with, you leaving a lot of money on the table right there. You lost half the game right there. So it's always to know how you're getting paid. These recruiters not gonna do nothing but sell you a dream, a wet one. You know what I'm saying? And a dream that don't pay. They just here to get you in the door. You know what I'm saying? Once you're in the door, like I say, they'll tell you anything to get you in the door. And then once you get in the door, a lot of times what happens is driver get in here thinking he gonna be making XYZ or he gonna be running XYZ, and it's something totally different. Especially if they sign contracts, if you don't understand your contract, if you have signed the contract, which, especially if you have signed a contract to work for a company to get your CDLs, which I do not recommend. Don't go sign your life, you know what I'm saying? Don't go sign your life away to the devil. Don't go sign it with death row. That's what I call giving your life to death row. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. I do not recommend it. You want more information about that? Drop it in the comment. Tell me you want more information about your contracts, anything like that, or how to get out your contracts, or what should you do if you want to get started driving trucks or whatever the case is. What would be the best option for you to go to? I'll drop a video on that. But like I say, I'm just grateful, thankful. Like I say, hey, once you get in this game, get a little experience, you'll learn how to move around and how to do things. You know how things flow. Like I say, a lot of people don't tell you how to run these trucks to make the most of your buck. You know what I'm saying? To capitalize on your time. It's all about beating the clock. That's the name of the game, beat the clock. You know what I'm saying? If you can beat this clock, hey, the more you can beat that clock, the more money you're going to make, the more opportunities you're going to have. You know what I'm saying? When you get in here with these customers and these shippers and receivers, get cool with them. You know what I'm saying? Communicate with them, talk to them, make them smile. You know what I'm saying? You never know what kind of day they might have been having. You know what I'm saying? That might just help you bump to the front of the line. You understand me? So, like I say, hopefully I'm finna get out of here and you know what I'm saying, get back on my paper chase. And the same thing goes as us percent. I get paid by percentage now, you know, but the same thing goes as the percentage drivers. Just think 5 hours up the road, you know, that could have been another load you just dropped off and picked up. So, if you want to know how the percentage works, if you want to know how, what I think is better, percentage, mileage, or by the load or by the day, you know, drop that in the comments. You know, I read all comments. So drop that in the comments, any kind of questions you may have, any kind of knowledge, anything you might want to know. And maybe have some pretty women in here too. Maybe have some pretty women. Yeah, but anyway, drop that in the comments. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to help. You know what I'm saying? Any kind of stories or topics that you might want to know, you might want to hear about, anything like that. Listen, I got 10 years, you know, I got 10 years of it, and not my mentors, the stories I've had and heard. You know what I'm saying? I ain't one of them truck drivers that's going to be lying to you and putting 100 on 20 or whatever the case is. I'm going to keep it real with you all the way across the board. You know what I'm saying? With everything. So, like I say, drop whatever you want in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Whatever subjects, titles, stories, what you may be going through. How long have you been in the game? You know what I'm saying? How long have you been trucking? How long have you been thinking about trucking? What are you getting into trucking for? What's your long term with this trucking? You know, like one of my long terms or my things is when I first got in here, I said, man, I'm gonna get in here and I'm not gonna be driving all this time. I'm gonna get in here, I do maybe 3-5 years, you know, and I'm out. It don't work like that. You get in here, especially, you know, you get to making that money. And I tell people, as I was taught, you gotta crawl before you walk. You gotta crawl before you walk in this game. And the more time you put in, as long as you keep that record clean, the more that money supposed to go up. And so it's not like going back and working a regular 9 to 5. You understand me? It ain't like that. The more you make, the more you accumulate. You know, don't get in here and get the so-called making money and you started spending it. You know, you need to have an exit strategy. You need to have a plan. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how some drivers is. Y'all get in here and get to buying everything. Get to buying all these gadgets and gadgets before the check even cleared. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Taking out them advances. Y'all take out 1 million advances before the check get here, before the money get here. Then when the check get here, you looking at your check like you ain't made nothing. You looking at your check like somebody spit in your face. You know what I'm saying? You like, what is this? So we'll touch on all that, man. So like I said, man, I'm here for y'all. I'm here for y'all. Hopefully y'all here for me. Drop a comment drop a few comments, like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified so y'all don't never miss none of this game that I'm giving, none of this good game that I'm giving, none of this real game that I'm giving about the trucking industry, about my life experience. You know, we gonna get into all that about the do's, the don'ts, the wrongs, the rights and the lefts, and the, you know, the low bridges that y'all don't know, GPS is different technology, different things to help you navigate through this trucking terrain, you know. So, like I say, hey, it's been great. I'm out. Stay blessed up. Stay safe out there. Drive safe. You know, watch for you. Not only you, watch for them other drivers. Watch for them four-wheelers out there. You know, we got some crazy drivers out there. We got some drivers with some road rage out there. We got some drivers that, you know, just be safe out there on that road. You know what I'm saying? Be safe on your chase. You know what I'm saying? And be smooth on your run. And don't put your... don't put, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know the rest.